Hi everyone, I am here today at the Frida Hartley Shelter to do my PEP project, where I'm going to be having a roundtable conversation with young ladies in the South African community from various backgrounds to discuss gender-based violence and how it affects their communities. My name is Gwakanya, and I am going to be leading this discussion on gender-based violence and how it is a socio-political issue that affects many communities in South Africa. I have here with me these lovely ladies, and the first question is going to go to Akila. How do you define gender-based violence, and where do you see it show up in your own community or country?
The way I would describe gender-based violence is acts of violence or aggression towards a specific group of people because of their gender. And where I see it pop up the most is within local communities, with the fact that when they say gender-based violence is normalized for them, you can hit, if a man hits you, you're expected to keep quiet, okay, he hit me, it's fine. And the normalization of, oh, I have to apologize to him, it's my fault for doing something wrong. So I see a lot of and also young girls, they also normalize the fact that a man should hit you to show you that they love you when it's actually wrong.
Oh yeah, speaking of that, it's when young girls and boys are growing up, and when young boys tend to display aggressive behavior towards young girls, you're immediately told, oh,
No, thanks you. Yes, sweetie. And it's just that they're saying that boys will be boys. I've met so many boys who are able to be mean to me and then be told, no, he likes you, or boys will be boys. And I think that's unfair. But if a girl had to do that, it's control yourself, behave, you're a woman, what. So I can't play with sand, no.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. So you are basically hinting at the fact that gender-based violence is not only a socio-political issue, but an issue that is within our communities through cultural practices and
social norms.
Yes. Thank you.
How male aggression is more accepted than female one. So because when girls get angry, it's more bro, are you on your period? Why are you acting like that? But when a boy is angry, it's oh no, it's normal for them to expect to be angry like that. No, let it happen. You should take out his aggression. When he hits it, no, he's just angry. Maybe you did something to make him angry. It's that. Yeah, what did you do?
What did you do?
Yeah.
Him. So it's a bit irritating as well because
Very.
Yeah. Because that didn't mean am I on my period? I'm 12.
I mean, well,
I'm not 12 now, but
I get it.
it's not cool.
Thank you. I think that also kind of flows into question 2, which is why do you think gender-based violence persists even when laws exist against it? And I think Blessing would like to elaborate on that.
I personally think that laws alone are not enough. And usually the police and the court themselves also mishandle some cases. Yeah. And in some cultures, they normalize violence, and people have limited knowledge on rights and gender inequality.
Yeah.
So not only laws should be looked at, but also attitudes, beliefs, attitude systems, and society should also change.
And to add, when I watch the news, I hardly ever hear of a GBV case, a woman came out and she was abused. It's usually Tabo Desta. Does that count as GBV?
Yeah, just on that. He was in prison for
Survival cases are rare. It's mostly always
people that don't survive.
Yeah, people that never hear about I survived this.
It's never a woman came out, or I don't see it's the LGBTQ parade. Can you see parades for do we have one? A parade for GBV?
I don't think so.
But no, not necessarily, but we do raise awareness on certain dates. But then in South Africa, it is so the GBV rates have escalated so much that it feels like almost every other week we're saying justice for Olerato, justice for Namhla, justice for this person, and it's maybe that's why we're so desensitized to how abnormal it is, because we have to do it every other Friday or every random Tuesday
because it happens over
so often. So yeah, we don't have particular holidays, though. I just think we try our best to advocate for the voices that aren't able to do that because they did not survive it.
So like the days that we have, the days that we have for these things, they're scarce because of what you just said. Like the fact that every other Monday, because it's so common.
Also, we're not trying to glamorize it, remember. We're trying to raise awareness from people that did not survive it, but then we're also urging survivors to step forward, to speak, and that is why we have your Silence is Violence movement. That is why we continue to speak about it every day. Now you can't be selective about your activism towards GBV. It's an everyday type of thing. It's you do it through and through, basically.
Yeah, because you can't hit someone and say, no, I can hit you. Today is not Human Rights Day. Yeah, don't give like that.
But growing on that, what do you think as a society can we do to upkeep the momentum of standing up against GBV cases? Because what tends to happen even with Kwekwe's case is that for like about a week and a half, there was a lot of protesting, a lot of people coming forward on social media. It even reached international news. But after that 1.5 weeks, it kind of disappeared off of social media. It kind of died down,
basically.
There were less protests, there was less interaction, and to the point where the government also shut down on how they were interacting and updating us as a community on what was happening with that case. And right now, we have no idea what's happening with that case, if the perpetrator has been caught, what processes has taken place. So what do you think we as a society can do to upkeep that momentum for that change to happen within our communities? Because we're clearly aware that it's an issue, but we lose momentum on how to deal with it. So how do we keep that momentum?
Well, I think, to answer your question, I think activism needs to not be performative because now everybody is now doing it for the likes, the comments, social media. And it's great because that's another way to raise awareness, but now it becomes problematic when it's performative. So when you no longer feel like this is of importance to you, then you decide, I'm not in the mood to post about it, or this is something that we shouldn't talk about. And also, I think another thing that affects us is how we get selective about issues that we're choosing to focus on. So if you imagine this past week, right, or even with, I'll use the Kwekwe case as an example. After some time, the noise died down because people started to diverge into other matters, which honestly, I would say are less significant. So we'll be dragging a celebrity on Twitter, X, it's called X now, my bad. So people's priority, when the priority changes and shifts, I think that's when we lose the momentum to continue and carry on. And so the best way to combat that is to prioritize such issues, keep it going, keep asking the questions, keep prying. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I feel like another reason why it's so often, because us as people, we become brands to such an extent. We see as when there's cases like this coming up, they only get heat for a week or two, and then next thing you know, they die down. And a lot of people stop posting such on their social media because they do not
want to affect their brand.
Yeah, they don't want to me out. It's just a picture like, no, we're just going to do this for 2 weeks and then I'm done with it because no, this is the image that I'm pushing as a person and this doesn't go with what I focus on.
It doesn't fit the aesthetic.
Yeah, that's the aesthetic.
Some people do it for
crisis like this as trends.
They do
like
it for
what's a
clout.
trend? Like,
They go with like
next TikTok dance and then the next one
as well, and which is so sad now because also we have another issue of here's another issue when you're not getting feedback and you're continuously trying to it's like you're grasping at straws, you're clutching at straws. So it kind of chips pieces away from you, and so now you feel as though your advocacy has just been futile in most cases because every time when you keep hearing there's no progress, how do you feel about that? It doesn't exactly give you the momentum to keep going. So that is an understandable take, but we just urge people to keep fighting.